I'd like you to meet Nancy Beltramo. Come on up here, Nancy. Nancy lost her husband to cancer 7 years ago. She was left as a single mom to David and Daniel, an 11-year-old and 13-year-old at the time. And I just want them to meet you so they can kind of get a picture. I know many people know you, but so you can get a picture of, okay, here's a widow in our church and a single mom. What's it like? So tell us, how have people really helped you over these last 7 years and just been a real help to you?
Well, that list is pretty long. We so much felt God's care for us. Especially at the beginning, everything was very, very overwhelming. Even small tasks were difficult to accomplish. And so people came alongside. Meals were great help, not just taking a big burden off me because I had so much to do, but also financially. Those meals really helped us because I had a very limited income at that time. And papers are not my forte. I had this stuff piled up from medical bills, and taxes were coming up and legal things to take care of. So I had friends that came over and just helped me kind of start sorting through and making phone calls for me. The ceiling of the roof in the ceiling of my garage started to sag about 2 months after my husband died, which that's way out of my expertise. So there's a handyman group at this church that they sent someone to help with that, who repaired that, the beam that had broken. Had someone come from the church to help with plumbing. One of the big needs for me are just my responsibility of taking care of 2 sons. 24/7 without anyone to help with that really weighed heavily on me. And so when people would take them on vacations and just take them out for ice cream or whatever, that was really, really helpful to me. I hated sorting socks, so they just kept piling up, and I was getting a little, frustrated with that. So one time a friend called me up and asked me what she could do, and I said, "Would you please come help me sort my socks?" And so she did, and we got to talk, and I kind of got to spill some of my emotions. So that was really helpful. I have a hiking buddy in the congregation here, Dan Gibson, who walks late at night, and so if I had a bad day, I'd call him up and ask him, have you walked yet? And he'd say no, and I'd walk with him. So that was really good, the exercise and getting to talk with someone and have someone to hear my frustrations. And there was some computer, we got computer help. Sometimes I still come home and find someone on my roof cleaning the gutters. And there's something else.
Well,
lots of variety. So.
What about, have there been any deficits in our care where you'd say, oh, I wish somebody would have helped me with that?
That I really had to think about, because we felt very well taken care of. But about a year and a half after Rick died, things began to unravel in our family. And I think the combination of the teenage hormones and grief and intense personality just kind of caused havoc. And so we had about 3 years that were very dark. And during that time, pretty much every day was a challenge to get through. I think during that period of time, I could have used more prayer. At the beginning, everyone was praying for us, and you're kind of riding on that. But everyone gets in their own routine, and so I could have used more prayer then. And also just hope. I really needed hope because I couldn't see past that. So just having people write me with scriptures, meaty things that I could hold on to would have been helpful. I remember someone did write me an email because we lived far apart, and she actually prayed for me in the email. She wrote her prayer out, and it was so moving for me. I also could have used help with my windows, washing windows, because I didn't have the money to do it, and I didn't have the time to do it. And finally, after about 3 years, I thought this is enough, and I paid to have it done, and I couldn't believe how much it increased my morale. I could see out of them. So, and I probably could have used a little legal advice and tax advice and things like that. But Jesus definitely brought us through a fire those 3 years, and my sons are doing great. God's done far more than what I could have imagined at that time, and we didn't get burned. Yeah.
All right, it's been 7 years, Nancy. Can you let me ask you this? Are you dating anybody?
Well, I was over at the Arco station last spring, and matchmaker Ron Kincaid introduced me to someone else who was at the gas station who has a passion for missions like I do. So yeah, we're dating.
All right.